Hey, welcome back to NewZeroland. Remember me? Yeah, as you could probably tell, I had stopped making YouTube videos like 6 months ago. I needed a break and I wanted to disappear for a while and just focus on the car conversion project. And then my plan was to come back with a whole bunch of videos once the car was done. And so yeah, I decided to end my channel with a cliffhanger at an event called the Cliffhanger. If you've seen any of my other videos, it seemed like the perfect way to go. Obviously the bike is fine. Steven, the rider, totally fine. Nothing on YouTube is real. So yeah, I planned on just retiring from YouTube for a while, but then this happened. Energica, my favorite motorcycle company in the world, went into liquidation. What that means for the future of the company, we're not really sure yet. It could be bought out and rebooted, we'll just have to wait and see. But to sum up what happened, a few years ago, Energica was still a small company and they wanted to grow. So they found an investor in the US called Ideanomics that was doing a lot of stuff related to EVs. It seemed like the perfect partnership. So Energica started getting the funding they needed to expand and make more bikes, like the Xperia, which still has the biggest battery of any electric motorcycle. This partnership with Ideanomics also led to them branching out with the whole Energica Inside thing, where the plan was to use their components in boats and jet skis and stuff. But then, how I understand it is, Energica was halfway into ramping up production on all this stuff when Ideanomics ran out of money. Suddenly they had all these orders for bikes, but no funding to make them as fast as they needed to. Some people said the company's been running on fumes for over a year. From what I heard, Energica was trying to buy themselves out and Ideanomics just couldn't agree on a price, and so they both went down. I'm sure it's more complicated than that, and I don't know the full story, so don't quote me. But yeah, I had to come out of YouTube retirement because this is huge news and I'm really bummed about it. We all are. Owning an Energica is such a special experience, and I wanted to tell my story. So back in 2017, I got to test ride an Energica Ego, and it was mind-blowing. I actually said, sweet Jesus, this bike is fast. By this point, I'd been riding my Zero for about 2 years, so I was already super into electrics. But there's like an electric motorcycle, and then a motorcycle that is electric, if that makes sense. You know, some electric bikes feel like they've been built by computer programmers and not bikers. Well, Energica started out building gas-powered race bikes, so they were already a motorcycle company, and they knew what motorcycles should feel like. And they were good at it, they were winning. Going electric was just because they knew that's what we'd be riding in the future, and they didn't want the transition to electric to be boring or less exciting than gas bikes. Anyway, this was the most premium, high-end bike I'd ever ridden. Had carbon fairings, Brembo brakes, Olin suspension. It was the ultimate. Like, they didn't compromise on anything. And I think that was the plan. You know, Zero had the whole commuter bike market covered and some off-road stuff. Very much built to a price point. But what about performance sport bikes? I asked somebody at Zero if they'd ever make one, and they told me nobody wants that. I wanted that. Well, lucky for me, Energica did too. Their bikes were fast, they looked amazing, and they sounded like fighter jets. My test ride was amazing, but I never thought I'd actually get to own one someday. Fast forward a couple of years, and I got to meet Stefano, Energica's North American CEO, and he had a red Ego for sale for a price that was way under retail, so I bought it. We shipped it to New Zealand, and I think that year I made over 20 videos with that bike. I took it to the track, I went drag racing, we went on that epic 18-day road trip around the South Island. It was probably the best motorcycling year of my life. And holy crap, what a beautiful bike. But as much as I loved it, Energica just kept advancing and improving stuff every year, and the new models had more range, more power, they were lighter weight, and so it was time to upgrade. I sold my Ego and we bought 2 matching Eva Ribelles, one for Jen too. And this is what made Energica so special. They asked for Jen's height so they could lower her bike and have Corbin shave down the seat, way before Corbin was making Energica seats. Just because she was a customer and they wanted to make her happy with a bike custom built for her. So, more videos, another epic road trip, way more track days. Actually, we got to do a track day with Chris from Energica, who came all the way to New Zealand to do some updates on our bikes. They also flew both of us to Italy to ride Xperias around the Dolomites. Yeah, right now I'm realizing Energica's financial problems are probably my fault. They were just so good to their customers. It wasn't like, you bought a bike from us, we have your money, now we kick you out the door, delete your number. They wanted to make sure you were happy, not just because you might buy another one of their bikes in the future like we did, but more because Energica felt honored that you wanted to ride one of their bikes. You joined their family and they looked after you. And I think that's the saddest part about all this. This special family might not exist anymore. On a random side tangent, I was so obsessed with Energica that I created my own keychain. This is the Energia Kiwi. I made a rough sketch of it and my buddy Julian laser cut this out of metal. I sent a few of these to my friends at Energica, and they liked them so much that they asked us to make a whole bunch more to send to very special Energica owners. Jay Leno has one. Jay Leno has one of my keychains. It's crazy. I've been seeing a lot of comments online saying, this proves electric motorcycles aren't ready yet. But aren't ready for what yet? Riding long distances? Every time I run into gas bikers out on some twisty road in the middle of nowhere, they always have some kind of opinion about why electric motorcycles are so limited in either range or charging speed. So I tell them, hey, I just rode 300 kilometers to get here and it was pretty easy. What are you talking about limitations? Where are you from? Oh, you're from here. You rode 20 Ks to get here. Okay, sounds like the bikes are fine and it's the people that aren't ready yet. The only argument they have left is that the bikes are too expensive. They can't afford it. They say that Energica went out of business because the price was too high. People keep saying they should have made a cheaper commuter bike. Electric city bikes are the answer. And yeah, that's the profitable business answer. The let's turn the Mitsubishi Eclipse into a crossover idea. But that's not something that excites me at all. I hate this trend of making cheap, boring commuter bikes just because you know you're going to sell a lot and it's going to keep your company in business. Because then your company is just making cheap, boring commuter bikes. Is that what you want? We already have enough electric commuter bikes, like the Super Succos, the Surons, the Zeros. Zero just announced they're building 2 Surons and a Grom. We already have these guys. What about cool sport bikes? What about leader bike performance with amazing styling that it's like something you'd have a poster of on your wall as a kid? What about something for track days and road trips and fun twisty road stuff at highly illegal speeds? An electric bike that's actually exciting. What makes me sad is we had this. These are the bikes Energica built. Even if it wasn't the smartest business idea, they made something with passion and they deserve all of our respect for that. So I don't know what's going to happen. Energica made an official statement that sounded like this is the end, but I'm still optimistic. It's definitely not the end for Energica owners. The good news is we have shops like Energica of New England who've already said they're going to continue support as long as they can. I know Rob makes custom parts for these bikes and he has no plan on stopping. A lot of these parts are shared with other bikes and the maintenance is stuff you can do yourself. The oil changes, the coolant flushes aren't too hard. So I feel like we're going to be okay. I mean, I'm still using Energica parts in my car project and I'm not worried. I don't know when the car is going to be finished, probably sometime next year, so I'm just going to disappear again until then. But I just had to make this video because I'm very sad and I really hope Energica makes it through this. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys down in the comments. Whoa, so fast. Okay, bye.